Howdy everyone, Polcher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we are going to be covering all the information you need to know about the raids coming to the game. But first of all, this is my submission to this month's art contest. By all means, go and vote for it, because this is a skin we all want to see. Even if you say you don't want to see it, you do want to see it. This would be the highest selling skin in the game, guaranteed play cut. So take my advice, chuck it in the game. Is it something I personally want? No? Yes. But, you know, bygones be bygones, and, you know, let's add some pool themed skins to the game. That's all I'm saying, okay? Anyway, let's get into it. The information you need to know. At the moment of making this video, raids have been closed. Event raids have been closed. Everything has been closed. Have a 2-day break. Enjoy it. You all deserve it, I'm sure. Except a few, okay? I'm not going to mention names, but some people don't deserve the break. Anyway, 2 days break. The raids are closed. When they reopen, they will be the same raids currently in the game. The same event raids currently in the game, but they will now have increased difficulty. This is to move alongside the release of Gear 13, 14, I think 15. I always get confused because it gets capped at something and then it doesn't count, but there's new gear coming to the game. There's 2 new levels of gear, which is going to obviously increase the power of your heroes. I'll try and get a video out showing the increase and the difference it's going to make to your heroes. So keep that in mind. Now, there are pros and cons to this. Okay, so let's go over what I personally think of the new raids. So they are the same raids we all know in the game. The same regular raid and the same event raids, just harder. So the con of this obviously is we still don't have a lot of ways to use our new heroes. They're still dominant in PvP, mostly tournament and arena. However, in saying that, there have been a lot of new heroes released lately that have done wonders in Cradle of Chaos. And I think Cradle of Chaos is probably one of the better game modes in the game. And I think they will obviously release new seasons to that. So those heroes are always going to have use. And I have 100% faith they are going to release different raids in the future. So, yeah. You still got to work on new heroes. We just, you know, not sure which ones. At the moment, it's just a PvP scene. However, pros of the event raids and current raid being increased in difficulty. The good thing about this is the heroes you have been working on for the past X amount of months, years, they are still holding value in the game today. The event raids are designed in a way that forces you to use specific heroes. And with this, means that those heroes have a certain value to your account. So having invested in them, getting them to a decent level so you can participate in event raids, means that they are still going to hold their value. But now we also need to distribute gear evenly amongst current meta heroes and heroes specifically used for event raids. So there are a few things you need to keep in mind. Number one, if you are a clan that runs free lanes in raid, it may be time to reconsider. Now, if it works for you, it works for you. By all means, don't change it. Go with what you're used to. However, assigning players lanes is also going to limit the amount of heroes these players need to work on. If you give a player an assigned lane, they know what heroes they need to work on to progress the most through these event raids. Now, we all know event raids are hard. They are difficult as they are. So increased difficulty, it's not going to get any easier. It's just simple math, okay? Event raids are going to be an absolute pain in the ass, so buckle down. But with it comes new points that you can earn for your clan, higher points. We'll get a graph out there showing you what percentage you need to complete in the next difficulty to equal what you're completing in the current difficulty. So for example, Koala Bandit's always looking for members. Feel free to apply. Hit me up on Discord. We are currently clearing on average 61 to 64% in difficulty 2 in event raids. Now, as a leader now, I'm going to have to make the decision what is worth more. Getting that 62%, which will now increase because we can get better gear, or do we go into the next difficulty and get slightly better rewards, but we're going to be aiming for a lower percentage. There's no way on release, my clan specifically, and unless you're like one of the top 3 clans, I'm assuming most clans will be on the same level. There's no way they're going to release these new difficulty raids and you're going to be able to complete that same percentage you are in the current event raids. They're just too difficult. It's just the way it is. So we're going to have to come out with graphs showing you what percentage you'd need to get to in the difficulty 3 to equate to difficulty 2. And is it worth it? Can your players go for it? They may be able to, because the first few nodes in the event raids are typically the easiest. So if you could score 30% there and it's equivalent to 60% in the previous difficulty, there might be some room there for old clans to grow. For example, Fire Gates, which is out now, the first nodes on the left-hand side can be completed with goblins. It's a fairly easy team to use. You can replace Sneaky Beaky with Zart, which makes it more sustainability for the team. So I don't see any clans at the moment doing D2 who would struggle tremendously with those first few nodes. So it's something we'll look into. The information will be out there ASAP the moment these raids are released, and we can see how many points you get per node. There'll be a whole bunch of people, including myself, that are going to get the information out there to help you guys. But as it is right now, working on these heroes that you have been working on, then they're not going to go to waste. You're still going to use them. You may just need to invest a little bit more into them. Getting things like Arcane 5 stars on these heroes using your silver tokens. I wouldn't recommend gold tokens to get their 6th and 7th star. There are far more useful heroes in the game. But definitely using silver tokens to get to at least 5 arcane stars, I think is going to be a huge help. Consider getting these heroes to level 90 to 99 in that bracket. Again, a tremendous help. And then obviously there's now gear. But gear is a very difficult thing to suggest to players to invest in heroes because it's so rare, and it's I don't want to say a waste, but when you have to consider using a piece of gear on an event hero like, for example, Full Metal Goon over a new hero like Ulfrin, it's night and day. I mean, you're going to have to pick Ulfrin because he's just a more viable hero, whereas the Full Metal Goon mainly is used in the event raid alone. So a lot of planning. As a leader, as officers in your clan, even if you're just a helpful member, it may be worth going through and finding the benefits of these heroes and where else they can be used, and is it worth it, and so forth, because resource management is a huge thing. So that's event raids. It's going to be hard. I talked a lot, but hopefully it's going to help you guys in organizing your clans, your members, in pushing and getting as far as you can and getting the best rewards you can, because there are new stages in the leaderboard as well, so you can earn tokens to unlock this new gear. So it's important trying to get the best score possible. Moving from event raids to regular raids. Now there's no difference here. It's regular raid. It's fairly straightforward, fairly simple. You can use whatever heroes you want. So yeah, at the moment there is a lot of success in the Cloud Wanderers Rhiannon combination. People still use them. Renegades Rhiannon combination. Rhiannon is just a staple hero for regular raids. If you don't have a Rhiannon at a suitable level, and she doesn't need to be super hyped up because her role in the team is pure utility, so you can focus on your damage dealers and your healers and your whatnot, but she is an absolute staple, especially in the next difficulty of regular raids, with her ability to increase HP and reset cooldowns by X amount per new wave. She's invaluable, completely invaluable. She's probably the most useful hero in regular raids. So put a little bit of work into her and find a team that you can build around her, and you should do well. The regular raids are going to be made harder, obviously, but I mean, when you consider our regular raids at the moment, which is difficulty 3 versus difficulty 2 in event raids, difficulty 3 regular raids is still so much more easier than event raid difficulty 2, even though it's one difficulty up. So I can't see regular raids becoming a super massive problem. I think a lot of clans are still going to be able to push quite far in the new difficulties. I can honestly see some, I reckon, top 20 clans at the moment getting 100% in difficulty 4 in regular raids. Difficulty 5, maybe you're going to have to see some investment in gear. But like I said, it's beautiful in the sense that you can use whatever heroes you want. So whatever works for you, work on it, chuck it in there, you'll do fine. But like I said, new event raids, new raids, it's the same stuff we've seen in the game already, just made harder. So what you're working on at the moment is still going to be valuable, still going to be useful, it's still going to be your primary push forward. We've got the new stages in the raid leaderboards, so you're going to get new resources from there, which is going to unlock chests that give you the new equipment. And with new raids out now, there's going to be a shift in point earning. So pay attention to what the nodes are, how many points they can earn you, and how it's going to influence your position on the seasonal leaderboard as well. With the introduction of this month as well, we're going to see things like the raid break at the end of the month. That is now officially implemented. There's going to be a 3-day break at the end of the month. Some information about that. Number one, the raids will still be opened during this 3-day period, but you will not earn points for the leaderboard in this period. So you can raid if you want to. Is it worth it? The idea here is that you have 3 days to accumulate points or raid portal stones, so you can open up and have a good push into the new season. The idea was to make it more fair for everyone and to prevent clan hopping. Clan hopping is still going to be a thing though for the top clans. The raid season reset still needs a little bit of adjustment, but I still believe it is a good step in the right direction. So that's going to help a lot of people as well. So that's now implemented into the game. And yeah, so yeah, that is currently what the new raids are. Work on the heroes you're working on, stick to your lane. Hopefully your clan leaders and officers are compromisable in the sense that they can give you a lane that you know you're good at and you can work on those specific heroes. But at the end of the day, some people are just going to get a bad lane and heroes they don't really want to work on. And I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a divide in players in terms of free-to-play and people who invest even just a little bit in terms of what heroes and what clan they're suitable for. But yeah, that's all the information we know about the raids at the moment. I have talked for a long time. It's a lot of information, but by all means, if you have any questions, leave a comment. My Discord server is also in the link below. There are so many helpful people from the community in my server. Join that. Ask questions if you want. There will always be someone who can give an answer. And if not, we'll find the answer for you. But there you go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you're around the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.